My name's Nate Fox. My sobriety date is March 10th, 2018. I found beginnings by default. I was scheduled to be in another treatment center, and 5 days into it, it shut down. So I scrambled to find a place, and beginnings was my next stop. When I came here, I was like super broken. I didn't know if I was like ever gonna be okay again. Just like broken, just filled with so much pain. But when I got here, my part of it was I had to be completely willing and surrender and like turn my life over to people that I didn't know. I had to trust that they had my best interest at heart. And because I was so broken, and I didn't have anywhere else to do, and I didn't know what else to do, that part was easy for me. And then they said, just trust us. And that's what I did from day one. Trust them. They know what they're doing. They're professionals. Obviously, I can't handle my own life, so I better leave it to somebody that may have a better idea of how to handle things. And they took me into their arms and their hands, and they helped me. The therapy sessions did wonders for me. My case manager is rad. The people that I surround my life with now are people that like generally care and like love me, hold me accountable. There's a lot to be asked of you here, but it's all for like your benefit. And you may not see it like in the moment, but like as time goes, and I've been here almost 9 months. And when I got here, I was like, all right, I'm gonna do 30 days, I'm gonna do 60, I'm gonna do 90. But what I'm doing here is I'm building my foundation for the rest of my life. So a little bit of my story. Normal childhood, grew up in a great family, moved out of my house when I was 18 years old. I tasted freedom. I started dabbling in all sorts of drugs. I had a career change. I was doing construction. I made a career change. For the last 12 years, I've been a firefighter and paramedic. So I had to leave all the other drugs behind. So the only legal thing I could do was drink. So alcohol is my issue. My drinking got progressively worse. It started off like not that bad, this, that, and the other. 10, 12 years in the business and everything that I saw, and me trying to deal with it and numb everything that I felt and not talking about it. The bottle was my solution. I went through a divorce, and that's when my drinking really picked up. Again, I didn't know how to deal with life on life's terms. My quick solution, the thing that's worked so many times before, was the bottle. I lost that medic job. And then I moved to Virginia. Started working construction again, worked at the construction company I worked when I was 18 years old. Super humbling. I get back into the fire service. I got my career job again. Things are going good. I meet the woman of my dreams. I met her in the rooms at AA. And then it happened. My world came crashing down like within seconds. She had been drinking, and she got on the freeway. She hit like 100 miles an hour on the freeway, and I was following her. And she got in an accident and flipped her car like 5 or 6 times, got ejected, and died in my arms. For years that was everybody else's reality, right? Like, I save the world, I save everybody else. And that night was my reality. And I tried to go back to Fire Academy. I just couldn't think. My life was so destroyed. So mad at God, so mad at the world. Instead of going to Academy one morning, I went to a hotel, shut the blinds, turned off my phone, and I drank myself to oblivion for about 5 days. Finally got my stuff together. I was too physically ill to like drink anymore. And I showed back up at Fire Academy, and of course they're like, cool, we don't need you. And so now I lost the love of my life. I've lost my career once again. And the very next morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm sitting there with a pint in my hand. Like, what are you doing, bro? I had enough courage, because I was drinking, enough courage, but I still had a little bit of clarity to realize that like all I had now was time. Like, I've never asked for help ever in my life, and that's one of my biggest defaults or defects. And all I had time, I didn't have anything else. I was I was done. I was just so broken. So I called my mom, I called my dad, I called my sister, and they're like, yes, yes, yes. And I told them, I was like, I need to get on a plane tonight because given a day or so, I'm gonna change all my ideas. And earlier the next morning, I was on a plane. Like I mentioned, I went to another place and then came here. And this is life changing. This place has taught me how to deal with life, how to, today with the option not to drink. This place is like retrained me. It's like rebuilt me in a fashion where like my first thought isn't like the drink. My first thought is like, all right, drinking is not a solution to my problems today. How do I find the solutions? How do I get through this? How do I deal with this? And it is. It's talking to my therapist 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call me if you need anything. There's been plenty of times I've called her. She saved my life. This place saved my life. But I'm able to like reach out to people and like, and they encourage me asking for help. So the people is what make this place. Just the outpouring of love and like support, and like when I take the drink away from it, like I'm a pretty decent person and they allow me to be that, today, in 9 months, I'm getting my life back. I got a good, job. And, an interesting fact with that is I went from being a fireman to a paramedic to making $11.40 an hour. I haven't made that kind of money since I was like 16. Probably about my third day on the job, Huntington Beach Fire Department comes in, and I look down at my bow tie, my paper hat, and I just want to cry in front of the whole store. And I've drank over that same feeling before, that same exact feeling, and I didn't have to that day. That was like an eye-opener for me. Like I came home, I talked about it, but that was like, I drank with it, and today I didn't. Like that's how this place has helped, because something that simple, I would have lost it over, and I didn't have to. I'm getting my life back. 2 weeks ago, I started full time as a paramedic again. I never thought that I would, one, be able to do this job again, because that night. But this place like healed me. This place taught me so much. I'm back like where I belong. But like a better, sober version. I'm able to do what I believe I was put on this earth to do. And it's amazing, to be able to go back to something like that. And it's all, again, because of this place, all the support I get to helping me find rides, to how do I make this work, to talk to me about this, to I'm struggling with this, or I need to go to a meeting, like help me get to a meeting, to everything. This is like truly like the foundation for the rest of my life. And that's why I've stayed here so long, because when I leave here, I want to make sure I'm good. This is the first time I've ever been in treatment, and I want this to be the last time. And they've like given me like a new shot at life. I'm in a new relationship now. She'll never have to see me pick up, ever, in her life or in my life. There's so much beauty beyond it. It's so freeing. It's just so amazing. Like they talk about the promises, and the promises are coming true, but I wouldn't have any of that if it weren't for this place. I'd probably be dead. I probably would have lost myself in a bottle. And I'll be forever grateful to this place. And again, for saving my life and all it's done. Listen carefully to everything I've said, because I'm living proof of this program. You have to ask for help. You have to. That's like the first biggest step. Just ask for help. Find somebody that can help you get into a place like this, or this place. But ask for help is the biggest step. And then when you get here, listen. Do what's asked. Be vulnerable. Listen to suggestions. Just surrender yourself to this program, and trust them, because they're not going to let you down. And if you can do that, if you can stay here long enough to work through those feelings, to work through that pain, to work through whatever you're going to come out on the other side a better version of you. You're going to come out a better person. And but it starts with asking for help. And when you get here, just listen to them. They know what they're doing.